Controversy erupts in Bihar as the Election Commission flags allege illegal voters, many from Myanmar, Bangladesh and Nepal, after the verification drive, which remember is also being challenged in the Supreme Court, continues in the state of Bihar. The verification drive is underway from August 1st to August 30th, and if proven, these names will be excluded from the final voter list. The development is likely to stoke further the raging debate in the poll-bound state over the ongoing revision of the voter rolls months ahead of the assembly elections. The opposition has raised questions on the timing of this exercise and said it won't be completed in time for the polls. The Supreme Court has also, in fact, questioned the timing of this process and has also said that the Election Commission, in fact, the Supreme Court raised doubts over the Election Commission's ability to complete this drive just months before the election.
आयोग ने दावा किया है कि 80.11% मतदाताओं की गणना प्रपत्र भर दिए, लेकिन ये नहीं बताया गया कि इनमें से कितने प्रपत्र सत्यापित कराए, स्वैच्छिक और वैध तरीके से कराए। अभी तक इसकी कोई क्लैरिटी जो है नहीं दी। फील्ड से लगातार ये सूचना हम लोगों को मिल रही है कि बिना मतदाता की जानकारी और सहमति से बीएलओ द्वारा फर्जी अंगूठा या हस्ताक्षर लगाकर प्रपत्र जो है उसको डाउनलोड जो है अपलोड जो है वो किया जा रहा है।
वोटर पुनर्निरीक्षण बिहार में हो रहा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी इस पर रोक लगाने से मना कर दिया है, लेकिन विपक्ष कह रहा है कि वोट बंदी आप लोग कर रहे हैं इसके जरिए।
देखिए, इन लोगों को संविधान में विश्वास नहीं है। हमने पहले भी कहा कि माननीय न्यायालय इनके विरुद्ध निर्णय देंगे तो उस पर भी ये प्रश्न उठाएंगे, जनता को भ्रमित करेंगे, आंदोलन करेंगे। ये संवैधानिक पद पर बैठा व्यक्ति राहुल गांधी इस तरह का प्रश्न उठा रहा है, ये माननीय न्यायालय के ऊपर उंगली है, संविधान और संवैधानिक पद के अपमान है। क्या ये व्यक्ति संवैधानिक पद पर बैठने का योग्य है? देश का नेता प्रतिपक्ष का राहुल गांधी और बिहार का नेता तेजस्वी यादव जी, आप संवैधानिक पद पर बैठकर अप्पू और पप्पू के तरह अभी भी सोने के चम्मच लेकर के जन्म लेते हैं और उसी मानसिकता में जीते हैं। जमींदारी भाव, परिवारवाद से बाहर निकलिए। संविधान रहेगा तभी कोई लोकतंत्र बचेगा, और लोकतंत्र का अपमान मत करिए। ये बहुत ही गलत परंपरा डाल रहे हैं और ऐसे लोगों पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
Now remember, all this is coming from the sources in Election Commission about Bangladeshis, people from Myanmar and Nepal being found in the SIR drive. Now the opposition has hit out at the Election Commission and the usage of their sources as far as this entire information is concerned. Tejasvi Yadav has sparked a controversy and has used a urine analogy when he was describing the sources as far as the voters are concerned, or the Election Commission's claims are concerned. Tejasvi Yadav junked illegal voters' claim and likens the media sources to urine. Let's listen into what he said.
8 करोड़ वोटर पूरे बिहार में, चुनाव को 2 महीना है, अब बोला जाता है इसी वोटर लिस्ट से प्रधानमंत्री का कई बार चुनाव हुआ, तब फर्जी नहीं था, अब वोटर लिस्ट फर्जी हो गया। अब लोग बोल रहे हैं अरे बांग्लादेशी, अरे नेपाल का, अरे म्यांमार का, इनके जो सूत्र हैं, चुनाव आयोग के बोले कि उनका भी शायद नाम है। सूत्र बोल रहा है, आयोग नहीं बोल रहा है। हमने बोला इनके सूत्र को हम मूत्र समझते हैं।
Let me go across at this moment for further deliberation on this to Sujata Paul, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, also with us this evening. Ladies, thank you so much and welcome to NDTV. Let me begin by asking you, Shazia, to react on what Mr. Tejasvi Yadav just said, because this information has come out from the sources of the Election Commission about possibility of people from Nepal, Myanmar and Bangladesh being found as far as this SIR drive is concerned. Mr. Yadav, you heard, said ye sutra nahi mutra hai, the urine analogy. As far as these people are concerned, what would the BJP want to react to that?
First of all, I'd like to say that it's a huge vindication of BJP's concerns The fact of the matter is that we have been raising this issue, and the very fact that there are on the voter list foreign nationals, such as those from Myanmar and Rohingyas and Bangladeshis and even Nepal, says a lot about the BJP stand and concerns. But having heard the kind of language used by Tejasvi, it just goes on to show the mentality these sore losers to be have. And somewhere they've given up on the people, and they know the electorate of Bihar has also given up on them. And which is why they're just making all these crazy, sensational claims. The truth is for everyone else to see. And just see, this finding is exactly what is a vindication of what
Then the
we've been
question
saying.
would be that why is
Now,
the
this
Election
is also
Commission
about
not coming out with a
fraudulent
press
voting.
conference or at least come out and officially speak about it? What is this business of selective leaks?
Can you please repeat what you said?
I just said that, the question that the opposition is asking is that Election Commission, why doesn't the Election Commission, because this question has been raised in Election Commission for a long time about this entire exercise, why can't the Election Commission do a press conference, allay these fears instead of these selective leaks?
I think you'll have to talk to Election Commission about it. I just must reintroduce myself. I'm Shazia Ilmi, and I'm the national spokesperson of the BJP.
Yeah, but the same
And,
Shazia
I
Elmi
have
was claiming
nothing to do with the
vindication on
Election
what the
Commission.
sources from the
But
Election Commission
presence
said.
exactly. But even if they're sources or whatever it is, to use such filthy language, you think that's all right? I mean, whatever said and done, Election Commission or the office of RCEC or that of Supreme Court or the various high courts, do you think you can use the urine analogy for any of them? Irrespective of the fact that you come from this party or the other? These are constitutional posts and institutions. So it just says a lot. I mean, I'm quite disgusted, to be honest, as I'm sure people of Bihar and India are, about the kind of language Tejasvi uses. Just goes on to show we don't want uncouth and terrible leaders like him to start with.
Okay,
But having said
let
that,
Sujata come
I'm
and
not a
respond to
spokesperson.
what Tejasvi has said. Tejasvi, likening the sources to the urine analogy that Mr. Yadav used doesn't serve anybody's purpose. It may well, in fact, this analogy can bring him some claps in Bihar, but largely this kind of a language will only go against the RJD.
As far as his language is concerned, that is not a matter of concern at the moment. The matter of concern is the Election Commission. So let's focus on what he was talking about, what all of us are talking about. This huge scam which is unfolding today before the eyes of the nation, as far as the Election Commission is concerned, it clearly shows that the Election Commission is working for the BJP. The BJP is the one which is using this Myanmar, Bangladeshi, Nepal issue and taking it, making it such a huge thing. They should be answering why are they endorsing what leak has come out of the Election Commission if this has been done by them. Now, when you're talking about these 8 crore voters, the more important thing is...
Let me ask
Yes.
you one thing. You are calling this a scam.
Yes.
How are you calling this a scam? You have raised questions. The Election Commission, you've taken the Election Commission to the court. And, the Supreme Court has very clearly said that the Election Commission is well within its rights to conduct this exercise. Where is the scam?
Ankit, I think you haven't read the order. The Supreme Court has clearly said that the petitioners have not pressed for a stay at this stage,
I did
but
not
they
even
are
name,
free
I did
to
not even
ask
use
for
the
a
word
stay.
stay. I did not even question you
No,
on
so
the
that's
stay.
what I'm saying.
I
So
did
they
not.
haven't
I only
stopped it.
said, I read the order. The order very clearly says that the Election Commission is well within its rights to conduct this exercise. The court has raised serious issues on the timing. The court has also, asked Election Commission to consider putting the Aadhaar and a couple of other IDs in this exercise. That's not the question that I'm asking. You call it a scam. How are you calling it a scam if the court thinks that the Election Commission is well within its right to conduct this exercise?
The matter is still in court and we have made allegations in the court. So we are talking about that. We are saying that if these 11 documents have now been introduced for this SIR, the timing is wrong, the Supreme Court agrees to that, then how come they've excluded the voters card, ration card and the Aadhaar card? That's exactly what we are trying to say. And if we didn't consider this a scam and a conspiracy of the BJP, we wouldn't have been approaching the Honorable Supreme Court. So the fact of the matter is that whatever leaks are coming out of the Election Commission, the BJP is using it and going to town talking about Bangladeshis, Myanmaris and Nepalese. The fact is, why is it that the BJP does not agree that all those people whose names were there in the voters list after 2003 voted for them? And that means that this is an illegal government.
Shazia, respond to what Sujata is saying, and let me add a question to that. If it was such a large level of discrepancy, Election Commission, remember the Supreme Court has also raised questions on the timing of this entire exercise and have also said that we doubt that there is appropriate time for people, those whose names are going to be excluded, to come in for appeal, and possibly their right to vote would be taken away. So all those questions have been raised, and then of course on 28th hold on. All I'm asking you is, if there was such a big level of fraud which needs to be in fact corrected now, then are we suggesting that the 2024 Lok Sabha elections was conducted on the basis of a fraud list?
Well, maybe the election that Congress won in Karnataka was also based on a false list. Maybe TMC sweeping Bengal also was done on a false list. Maybe AAP winning Punjab, I think there was a false list there too. What about DMK in Tamil Nadu and CPIM in Kerala and JMM in Jharkhand? I do think they were all voter list frauds. So I think all of them should resign immediately. I really would like
so does that mean there should be elections for the national government as well? Since you are asking all of them to resign, should there be elections for the national government as well?
Gandhi lost and they should resign from their positions.
I don't understand what you're saying.
This clearly means that Mr. Modi is heading an illegal government according to what the BJP's argument is.
I don't understand
Mr. Modi should resign and leave.
Okay, hold on. There is another, SIR is an important aspect which is being debated not just in Bihar, but also in the corridors of power. Here in the Supreme Court, there is another important issue in Bihar, and that is of the law and order. I'm just getting some breaking news at this moment on Bihar itself. A third murder within a week in Patna, and it's a daylight murder of a lawyer in broad daylight at the malaria office at a distance of 300 meters from a police station in Patna. A BJP leader and a businessman were killed in Patna earlier. In this latest murder, the lawyer was shot dead near a police station. The killer managed to escape as well. Remember, this is happening at the time when there are serious questions about the law and order situation in the state of Bihar. Let's first listen in.
यहाँ पे महिंद्रो में जो सुल्तानगंज अंतर्गत पड़ता है वहाँ पे एक घटना हुई है। एक व्यक्ति जिनका नाम जितेंद्र महतो है, उनको गोली मारी गई है और उसके बाद उनको इलाज के लिए PMCH ले जाया गया। इलाज के क्रम में उनकी मृत्यु हो गई है। कितने अपराधकर्मी हैं इसका अभी तक पता नहीं चल पाया है। हम आसपास के जो CCTV कैमरा है वो भी खंगाल रहे। परिवार से भी पूछताछ की जा रही है कि आखिर उनको किसी पे शक है।
My colleague Prabhakar joins me with more details on this. Prabhakar, now this will fly in the face of the claims of the government that they are tightening the screws as far as the law and order situation is concerned. A broad daylight murder in Patna being recorded yet again.
Yeah, and the list goes on and goes on. If you see in Patna itself, we have 4 high-profile murders happening in last 2 days. It started from Gopal Khemka, who was a very prominent businessman out here, and then the sand mining dealer of Patna. Then you had a BJP leader who was killed in the Punpun area, and today advocate Jitendra Kumar was shot dead in the Mal Salami police station, and that too in the broad daylight on a busy street where he was actually having tea with his friends, and the motorcycle-borne criminals, they came and they shot him dead. So and all this happening just before the state goes to poll. It gives a fodder to the opposition to attack the government out here, and that is exactly what they are doing. If you see Tejasvi Yadav is talking about only 2 issues. One is SIR, of course, and other is the law and order. The law and order is one thing which the government actually needs to act tough upon, and they know very well that if they miss this opportunity, then it would be a big election issue in the coming months. And remember, they have been always talking about the Jungle Raj. Now Tejasvi Yadav here is talking about the Asli Jungle Raj, and he calls it Asli Jungle Raj, which is clubbing together all these incidents which is happening. And remember, we are not only talking about Patna, But if you take the Bihar as a whole, I mean, there has been more than 25 murders in last 1 month, which is a big number, and that needs to be, the government and the police here needs to actually put their acts together and set the things in order, so that the government of the day actually does not have to defend themselves in the election.
Criminals in Bihar, they feel a sense that they can get away with such things, and that is why one after another we are seeing such criminal activities, murder in fact taking place in capital Patna, one after another, right next under the nose of the police stations. This also, ladies and gentlemen, comes at the back of the murder of a BJP leader, Surinder Kewat, who was shot dead by two bike-borne men in Patna's Sheikhpura area. This happened on Saturday night. Kewat, 52, suffered 4 bullet injuries and died during treatment at AIIMS, Patna.
पटना में बीजेपी कोई केवट जो की हत्या हुई, पटना में ही कोई स्टूडेंट पे जो है वो गोलियां चली, कल भी, परसों भी, तरसों भी। कौन सा दिन है जब गोलियां ना चलती है?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि पटना पुलिस बिल्कुल सजग है, और ये जो क्राइम के स्पॉट बढ़े हैं, आप पहले के भी ट्रेंड्स निकाल के देखिए कि विधानसभा चुनाव जब भी नजदीक आता है, क्राइम के ट्रेंड्स बढ़ते हैं, और उसके बाद पुलिस मेजर एक्शन करती है, फिर तुरंत ठंडे हो जाते हैं। तो अगले 5-7 दिन का इंतजार कीजिए। पूरे बिहार में अपराधियों पे तांडव बरस करेगी बिहार पुलिस, और ये सब कंट्रोल हो जाएंगे। ये सब प्रायोजित है।
जिस तरीके से लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन है, क्या कहेंगे इस पर? सरकार किस तरीके से इस पर एक्शन करेगी?
देखिए, बिहार के अंदर कानून का राज हर हाल में स्थापित होगा, लेकिन इस अराजकता को, जंगल राज से गुंडा राज की सफर तय करने वाले लोग जब तक बिहार में मौजूद रहेंगे, राजद का अस्तित्व बिहार में जब तक बचा रहेगा, ये अपराध और माफिया राज कायम करने का प्रयास करेगा। लेकिन सरकार सजग है कि आज बालू के अंदर भी माफिया राज राजद का था, पूरा बिहार नहीं देश जानता है, बहुत हद तक लगाम लगा है। अब जो हत्याएं हो रही है वो आपस के पार्टनरशिप के गलत पैसे को उलट पुलट का, जिसकी जांच भी चल रही है। बालू साइड में कारोबारी को पूरी तरह से सुरक्षा और संरक्षण है, और ये बता दें कि राजद के लोग बालू माफिया में से भी जुड़े हैं, जमीन माफिया से भी जुड़े हैं, और दारू माफिया से जुड़े हैं।
All right, Sujata and Shazia continue to be with me on this important, in fact, discussion. Shazia, how does the BJP, in fact, or the government defend it? Because you are the partners in the government under Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. It was in 2005, the call for Jungle Raj that turned the government from RJD to the NDA at that point of time. Why shouldn't this be called Jungle Raj? 4 high-profile murders in the last 24 hours in Patna. 25 murders in the last few weeks across Bihar, 167 in the last 3 months. I mean, the graph is only rising.
Yes, and just take a look at the profiles of those who are being murdered. They are being targeted BJP leaders, and that says something about this spate of murders and this ugly uprising of, yes, what you said, Jungle Raj of yesteryears coming to the fore. But what, of course, we saw in the case of Mr. Khimka, how within 72 hours, Bihar police managed to establish not just a link, but nab the culprits, and it will happen again. But because Vidhan Sabha is around the corner, and yes, there are the gunda elements which are at work, wanting to do the best they can to create this kind of disharmony and sentiment of fear in the region, which is why they are up and about, but they will not be spared at all. And it's very unfortunate that BJP leaders are being targeted by the local mafia. I wonder who's behind it. And I wonder why there is such a rise of these,
But why should you be wondering? It's your government in the state of Bihar. I mean, if whosoever, whether it's a BJP leader or, a businessman or any woman, man of Bihar is being targeted, it's the failure of the law and order and the state machinery.
No, it's an act of criminality that has taken place, and of course, and it is very much the job of the law and administration to ensure that they are nabbed, which it's being done. But to say that the police are behind these murders is not correct. It is the criminal elements, and there is such a rise. But yes, the law and order machinery must nab them and must ensure and expose who these people are and what is the interest in targeting.
But Shazia, you know, the police can't be just reactive,
crime.
isn't it? The job of the policing is to ensure that these crimes don't take place. If the police only reacts after people get killed, then the question would be, then what is the police there in first place?
Well, by that logic, there should be no murder anywhere else because there is law and order machinery. And if you look at the capital, look at the crimes, Bihar is one of the lowest. If you look at all other states, so Bihar is one of the lowest when it comes to homicides and murders like this. But yes, there is definitely an increase in the spurt in the activity when it comes to violent crimes, murders. It is unfortunate that the Gunda elements are asserting themselves, but they'll be crushed in the same way as they are rising.
Okay,
and
Sujata, so the logic of the BJP is that don't consider this or don't equate this with the 1990s and the 2000 till 2004. It's not the same, and they also more or less seems to be alleging that there is a conspiracy to increase this kind of atmosphere in the state of Bihar.
Hey Ram, I'm flabbergasted by this logic. The policing system has something which is known as a local intelligence unit, and they make sure that none of these criminal elements can act. And there are criminal elements all over the place, I agree to that. But does that mean that everybody will go becoming trigger happy? When has this happened in other states? Does this go on everywhere? According to Shazia Ilmi, it is clear that the BJP refuses to take responsibility for what is happening. You just heard as far as what she's saying is really immaterial, because the more important fact here is the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Mr. Vijay Sinha, who is in power, but who is not being able to do anything, and he is blaming the governments which were there earlier and the Gunda Raj that existed supposedly in those times. Today we have a policing system which has technology of various kinds which are being used. Otherwise, why is it that people are not getting trigger happy in other states? The fact is that these three murders are bringing to the fore the failure of this government. The law and order.
But the police has acted swiftly. They have picked up people. There has been an encounter as well. They are saying that we are doing everything to ensure that those who are behind this do not get away.
What are you saying? We are talking about the capital of Bihar, Patna. The first murder of Mr. Gopal Khemka took place in the Gandhi Maidan area. As far as Mr. Surendra Kewat is concerned, he was supposedly working in his field. And look at this third one which has just happened, the advocate, Mr. Jitendra Mahato. What is happening is that people who are associated with the BJP, if they are going to be murdered, that means you cannot protect your own people. What are you going to protect the people of Bihar? How are you going to give law and order?
For any government, it's not your people or our people. It's the responsibility to protect everybody, whether they are from the BJP or from any other party. But Shazia, don't take what the media is saying. Don't take what the media is saying, neither what the opposition is alleging. Chirag Paswan is a minister in the union government, part of the NDA. He has tweeted and said, बिहार में और कितनी हत्याओं की भेंट चढ़ेंगे समझ से परे है. बिहार पुलिस की जिम्मेदारी क्या है? He's, your own ally is pointing out to the failure of the law and order. He's asking for accountability to be fixed. He's saying that how many people will die.
And fair enough. I mean, that is something that I'm saying too, and I'm very shocked at the way there has been a rise, and one wonders as to why. When Chirag Paswan, a minister, raises these concerns, it goes on to show there is something happening before the Vidhan Sabha elections.
But Chirag Paswan is also asking for accountability to be fixed. No heads have rolled.
Absolutely.
Nobody from the police, nobody from the home department. There is nothing that has happened.
Swift action, whether it's the two murders that have happened before and this one. We've seen Bihar police in action. We have seen them do press conferences. We have seen the culprits being nabbed.
But what about the really action on the police for their failure to control these crimes?
There is somebody definitely, there is obviously a criminal nexus in place targeting BJP leaders, right? And doing that more so before the elections.
But ma'am, it's just not the
Definitely.
BJP leaders, it's others as well. No life should be lost. I mean, this is a failure of the law and order machinery. Sujata,
Absolutely.
last word to you at this
Yes.
moment. Is this now only a big election issue for the opposition going into the elections?
No, not at all. It's not an election issue alone. It is an issue for the people. And of course, if a government is unable to protect its own people and the government of the BJP-JDU alliance is unable to protect the BJP JDU Karyakartas and leaders, they are not going to be able to protect the people of Bihar, and the people of Bihar do not deserve this. People of Bihar deserve a government where you have a healthy chief minister who looks after his people, who is responsible, who is
I'm completely
answerable.
out of time on this. Ladies, thank you so much for sparing the time and speaking to us. Just want to say one thing. In 2005, it was the Jungle Raj call that threw the RJD out of power. If there is unabated crime, if there is fearlessness as far as criminals are concerned in Bihar at this moment, whether it's the BJP leaders, businessmen or common citizen, if they are being targeted with impunity in the state of Bihar, isn't this a new chapter in the Jungle Raj and lawlessness being written? And why shouldn't this be on the top of the mind as far as the voters of Bihar are concerned in the upcoming election? They need a safe Bihar. Everything else, of course, with education and industries will follow once the safety is put in place. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me.